guys, it's Harley, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some excellent low light houseplant options. I hope this is very helpful to you, and let me know what you think of it in the comment section down below. I always love to have your feedback. So anyway, let's just get into it. Okay, so I'm going to be doing these in no particular order. These are just low light plants that I pulled from my house. So they're just kind of, yeah, no particular order, long story, or short story long. So the first one that I could recommend is a Norfolk Island pine. These definitely do not need a lot of light, and actually if they get too much light, then the little pine fronds, the leaves, I don't know what they're called, burn. So I have mine in a corner of a room with like almost no windows, and it's been doing really well. So this one's a really easy one to keep alive, especially in low light situations. Next, I can recommend a Chinese evergreen. This is the only one I have right now, but there are a lot of color varieties. So this is an excellent option where you can get a lot of different colors out of just the one low light plant. You could get 5 of these and they all would look different, but they definitely do not like a lot of highlight. Yeah, it has gotten flowers, it has a lot of babies, it's gotten so big, and it is really beautiful and so easy to care for. Like, I basically just ignore this guy and leave him in his dark corner, and he does so well. Next, I can recommend a peace lily. Of course, I'm sure everybody knows this one, but I'm so surprised at like how accurate that really is. I was like, there's no way that these can get flowers in low light situations, but mine has 4 flowers and it like gets no light, and it looks honestly so happy, and it has grown like crazy since I brought it home. So yeah, and I mean these leaves get huge and I love that. I think it's really cool. Okay, let's see what else I have. The next plant I can recommend looks kind of sad. I actually had him too close to a window and he was getting too much light. But now that I've moved him away from the light and into a low light room, he's done really well and has gotten a bunch of new leaves. Anyway, this is a zebra plant. I guess I probably should say that from the beginning. Mine doesn't look great right now, but like I said, it's because all of the leaves burned because he was getting too much light. So this guy definitely requires low light. Next up are ivy plants, and these are some more where if you have them in too much light, then the leaves will burn. So this is a really great option for like shaded, not well lit areas, and they're really lush and grow so quickly, and they're just honestly beautiful. Like, this is one of my favorite plants, I think. There are a lot of different ivy options as well, so if you're looking for several plants, you could do a few ivy and they all look different. Next up, of course, I had to mention the ZZ plant, because I swear you could put this guy in a pitch black room and it would probably live. Okay, that's probably a little extreme, but mine gets next to no light at all, and it's getting a ton of new growth and shoots and is doing so well. It also like doesn't like to be overwatered, so I really just, the times when I forget about this one and like don't water him for a couple of weeks, he grows the most. So it's the easiest houseplant in my opinion. Okay, next up is our calathea. There are a lot of different calathea plants. This is the one I'm just going to be showing you, but this one is the Rattlesnake calathea, and it does not like to be next to light. As you can see from this leaf here, I should just cut this off, but I had it too close to a window at one point when I first got it, and it burned pretty much to a crisp. But the rest of the leaves are doing really well, and actually if it gets too much light, the print on the leaves fade. So they definitely need to be in like darker situations, especially if you want the print on the leaves to show up more. Of course, I have to talk about an African violet because they need next to no light at all, and they flower all year round, which is really awesome. This one has gotten so many blooms on it, and it is not anywhere near a window. So it honestly is really miraculous how these plants can survive without too much sun. But yeah, this is a really great option as well. And then also there are a lot of different color varieties, so you can kind of switch it up and get like so many of these, and none of them will look the same. Another option is a Parlor Palm. This is a really basic plant that you can find pretty much everywhere, and it honestly really needs like no light. Mine is not anywhere near a window, and it gets like filtered light, but they do really well also in low light situations, and they grow really quickly, and they're just super pretty and lush. And just honestly an overall easy houseplant, especially if they're not getting a lot of light, because then you have to water them less. Next up is of course an Arrowhead plant. I have 6 different varieties of these and I love them all. The ones specifically I'm going to talk about in the low light situations are the green varieties. So any Arrowhead plants with colored leaves need higher light settings than just the green ones do. But yeah, these guys need next to no light. I have one here that gets no light and they just keep throwing out new leaves like nobody's business. Better than a lot of my plants that I have in front of the south-facing window. So this is a great option as well. I of course have to mention a spider plant because I mean everybody kind of knows this one already. Oh wow. These ones need pretty much no light at all. I mean they really need nothing. They can take care of themselves. So this is a really low maintenance, low light house plant. Next up, I'm going to talk about a polka dot plant, and there are a lot of polka dot plant varieties out there as well. There's red, there's different shades of pink, there's this green, there's yellow, there's white, there's just a whole bunch of them. Something to keep in mind about the polka dot plant though is where, okay, so if you have it too close to light, the coloring is going to fade and it's going to revert back to green. Wait. If you have it too close to the window, it's going to revert back to green. So it'll lose the bright coloring it has. If you have it too far away from the window, then the plant is going to reach and you're going to get a really leggy plant. So where this one is low light, it's kind of hard to find that perfect balance, but it can survive in a low light situation and it'll stay beautifully patterned and everything. But just keep in mind that if you're going to get this plant for a low light situation, then you'll have to trim back the plant quite a bit so that it doesn't get too leggy and can stay happy and healthy. I think I'm going to trim mine up a little bit right here. But this is also a really easy water propagator. So if you get one of these, you can get so many plants out of just the one because it seriously roots like so easily. So this is an excellent option. I actually don't have one of these. I had one in the past and I gave it away, but similar to the polka dot plant is a Fotolia or a Nerf plant. It kind of looks similar to the polka dot plant, but instead of spots, it has like veins in the leaves that can be colored, and kind of opposite situation from the polka dot plant. The Fotolia will revert back to green in a low light situation, but the polka dot, or what was I talking about? The Fotolia, the colored veins on the Fotolia will kind of fade back to white or a light green or yellow color in low light situations, but it will get really lush and full and beautiful. So that's a really excellent plant to keep in like the bathroom. They like humid environments, and I know a lot of bathrooms don't have windows in them, so low light is the only way you can go. Okay, and the very last plant I am going to tell you about is a Bridal Veil Vine. This is such an underrated houseplant. It can survive in any situation. I mean, it does well in highlight situations. It does well in low light situations. I have so many of these around my house because you seriously can just like cut anywhere and it'll grow. It'll root in seriously 48 hours and it grows like crazy. I mean, this is one I rooted probably a month ago, and you can see how much new, or probably a month and a half ago, but you can see how many new shoots it's getting. It's a really cool plant and it does so well, but it needs like no light. I have this one in the darkest corner of my house and it's doing well. I'm very happy with this plant. So if you buy one of these, be ready to take cuttings and give them to all of your friends because it grows so fast and you can get thousands and thousands of plants off of the one plant. So definitely 100% recommend. Okay, so those are all of the plants off the top of my head I can tell you that require low light settings. I hope that I included a few of them in here that you didn't previously know about or consider to be low light. Let me know what your low light houseplant suggestions are in the comment section down below. I'm sure other people would really appreciate you sharing that information. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye!